First question, Jeremy. Fall River, Massachusetts. I recently discovered that Eddie Kingston was used mostly as a manager rather than wrestling in Impact Wrestling back in 2016-2017. This is when you were working there. Was this your idea to keep him out of the ring and cut promos? Also, what do you think of Kingston as a talent for AEW/ROH as far as believability, wrestling, and promos are concerned? Thanks. So, Eddie Kingston in Impact first.
Eddie Kingston in Impact?
Yep.
I got there and they weren't using him. Because I'm not trying to say they used him any better when I got there. Because people know about my Impact run. I spent most of it in catering, which is what I preferred. But Eddie Kingston, I heard him do this interview, and I went, why in the hell aren't we using this kid better? This guy he could go. He could talk. And he could talk in a way that made you damn believe him. Because he didn't talk at you, he talked to you. So that is why I mentioned it to some people. Of course, I may have as well have been talking to the walls. I mentioned it to somebody. Hell, he may have been a damn janitor. I don't know. But I mentioned it because I know I mentioned it. But this guy is such a good talker. I mean, we're wasting this guy. We're wasting him in the ring, actually. Now, he could get in the ring. But Eddie could go in the ring too, but he had a different style. But if we started him talking and then brought him into something, and Impact, we were so flooded with TV at the time, I never really could convey the message. Let's tell some stories, which takes time. It takes effort. It takes leaving the studio, taking a camera crew with you, or at least one cameraman, and going and doing these other things. And I had some ideas for him, but we never got around to doing that. Eddie Kingston, I like the guy. I really do. You could tell he's streetwise guy because he talks like, and he'll tell you he's from the streets. And I appreciate that. To get to where he got, or where he is today, it took persistence. It took a lot of little bullshit independent shows, but that's what you do. You know, if you want to get in the business, you got to go do these bullshit independent shows, but never downgrade them. I always look at them as a step up. And try to keep on those steps, taking you up. Now you may do another independent show that is not as good as the last one, but that's the nature of the business. Musicians have the same thing. They keep playing at these dives and keep playing at these dives till somebody notices them, or they send a tape in somewhere, or they get some attention on them, and then all of a sudden somebody finds them and they take off. But my suggestion for Eddie Kingston in Impact, but he'd already been there a while, I had too. So I suggested taking him out of the ring so much and just make him a manager, then let him re-enter the ring after he's gotten over talking.
I think that basically he was going to give up on wrestling altogether right around the time AEW was formed, so it's almost like a bit of a Cinderella story in the fact that he was about to retire, just leave the business. AEW comes along, gives him one last shot, and then he does quite well there. So Eddie Kingston, as far as believability, wrestling, basically his AEW run, good?
No, it's great. People like him. He gets in the ring and he's hitting this Japanese guy with his back spinning fist, and the guy didn't go down, and he looked at the crowd like, what the hell I got to do? And they responded to that. They like him. He has what I call, they accept him, acceptability. And they feel as though they know him because he's street. He's not in there talking, in some other type voice, which can be entertaining as well. But Eddie Kingston outside the ring is the Eddie Kingston you see inside the ring. And I think that's part of his, the fans, they think they know him. He's like their next door neighbor, but a tough neighbor, and they think they know him. And that's why he's had so much success.